We are on a roll. So let's talk about your gut. Your gut isn't just a tube where food passes right through it. It's actually an ecosystem. It's like a garden. It's got trillions of bacteria. Some are helpful, some are neutral, and some are bad and cause all sorts of problems when they take over. Gut health isn't about killing all bacteria. It's about feeding the right ones and keeping that ecosystem balanced. So this brings me to gut balance, which is a prebiotic and why it's critical. And this talk, I want to explain the difference between prebiotics and probiotics and give you a little bit of idea about the different types of fiber. Now, prebiotics are food for the good bacteria in your gut. It's a very specific type of fiber, and humans don't digest it, but the gut bacteria do, and they ferment it as well. The fermentation produces these short chain fatty acids, and that supports digestion, blood sugar balance. It helps with cravings and appetite control, immune health, and inflammation regulation. And this is really where gut balance shines. It focuses on feeding what's already inside you instead of constantly adding new bacteria. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the differences in what fiber is and the types of fiber. Most people think fiber is just one thing. It's not. There's three different types of fiber. There's insoluble fiber, and that doesn't dissolve. It just adds bulk, helps move waste through the gut. And it's found in wheat bran, vegetable skins. And what's important is it's not the main gut feeding fiber, not at all. Then there's soluble fiber. Soluble fiber dissolves in water. It actually helps slow digestion down. And that helps with blood sugar and cholesterol. And it does have some soluble fiber as prebiotic, but not very much. And then finally, there's prebiotic fiber. And that is the magic category. It selectively feeds beneficial bacteria. It improves your gut balance over time. And it's only found in things like chicory root, inulin, some resistant dextrins, and certain plant fibers. That's why someone can eat all sorts of fiber and still struggle with their gut health. They're just not eating the right fiber. Now let's talk about probiotics. We have Probiotic Boost. And what is that? Well, it's live bacteria. So Probiotic Boost has a billion colony count of a very specific bacteria that is good for the gut. It's extremely helpful, but timing really, really makes a difference. So you take probiotics after antibiotics. Antibiotics kill off all the bacteria in your gut. And so you've got to recolonize it. And that's when you take Probiotic Boost. You also take it during or after an illness, short-term digestive stress, you've had diarrhea or something, you're traveling and you've got disruption in your gut. That's a great time to take Probiotic Boost and implant that billion colony count of specific bacteria, of that specific bacteria. And that's when you take it. However, you should know that with probiotics, most strains don't permanently stick. They don't colonize. Many die off if you don't feed them with prebiotics. So you can think of them as a temporary measure, temporary reinforcements, and you've got to really feed them. So probiotics can help reset the system, but without prebiotics, they don't survive. So when do you prioritize prebiotics and when do you prioritize probiotics? So we talked about choosing prebiotics when you want daily gut support. You struggle with bloating, cravings, and irregularity, and that's because you've got the bad bacteria taking over. You want long-term results. That's when you use gut balance and prebiotics, and you're building your gut health and not just fixing a crisis. You choose probiotics and product like Probiotic Boost when you're taking antibiotics, you're sick, you're recovering, you need short-term support. So a strategy, prebiotics are daily, probiotics whenever they're needed. So we're back to gut balance, the prebiotic, and using it as a daily nourishment for your gut ecosystem. It supports digestion on a regular basis. It helps the beneficial bacteria outcompete the bad, and it works with your body, not against it. And it also builds results over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So what does happen when bad bacteria isn't kept in check? Well, the gut bacteria is always competing, and whoever gets fed wins. When prebiotic fibers are missing, beneficial bacteria weaken, opportunistic and harmful bacteria gain the upper hand, and the gut shifts into an imbalance. So you see, bad bacteria, they don't need prebiotics to survive. They thrive on sugar, refined carbs. They love processed foods. They love stress hormones. And so think about it. What are you consuming every day on a regular basis? Our North American diets are full of these things. So the bad bacteria is constantly growing. Now, this stuff ferments food improperly, produces way too much gas, hydrogen and methane, and it slows your gut movement. So you can tell when it dominates because it produces inflammatory byproducts, it irritates the gut lining, and it weakens the gut barrier. So what does that mean? Well, you start to develop food sensitivities. You get skin flare-ups. You get discomfort in your joints with inflammation, and you start to feel fatigued. Also, an inflamed gut just simply can't absorb nutrients properly, even when you're eating good food. Did you know that like 70% of your immune system lives in the gut? And when bad bacteria dominate, the immune system stays on really high alert. You have this constant low-grade inflammation, and it just becomes chronic, always there. You get sick more often, and you feel run down. So how do you fix that? Well, adding probiotics without the prebiotics just won't do it. It's like dropping in a few good soldiers in enemy territory. It helps briefly, but without the food, they can't take over, right? The bad bacteria is already there. It's got its food source. It's got this territory, and it already has a big head start. But this is where prebiotics and a product like Gut Balance can change that environment. It can starve the harmful bacteria. It strengthens the good bacteria, and it starts to shift that balance naturally. So you're not really killing the bad bacteria, you're literally crowding them out. So let's wrap up. Gut Balance, daily use. You use it to feed your good bacteria every day. You reduce the dominance of the bad bacteria. You support digestion without this harsh cleanses or anything like that. And you build a really resilient gut over time. Probiotic boost, on the other hand, that's when you want to plant the good bacteria after, say, antibiotics, during or after an illness, when you've got this short-term digestive stress, you're traveling, you've got diarrhea, or any of those problems. And that's how you separate the two between Gut Balance and probiotics, prebiotics and probiotics. Always remember, regular daily consumption of prebiotics is what makes the difference. Probiotics is when you really need it during that tough time. I hope that helped.